Hey guys, okay, so now for a review. Just finished a while ago. The Superior Spider-Man issue number 1. From the continuation of Amazing Spider-Man. Spoiler alert going on right now. So I'm going to be talking about this whole episode is going to be spoiling the entire thing. If you haven't read Amazing Spider-Man 700 or Superior Spider-Man number 1, do not watch this video. First go read it, then come back and then read this, or watch this. Okay, when we left off with Amazing Spider-Man, the Otto Octavius did a mind switch with Peter Parker, but Otto Octavius was able to retain all of Peter Parker's memories. Otto's body was dying, and so Otto died, and then Peter Otto, or Octavius, then became the new Superior Spider-Man. Alright, so that's Amazing Spider-Man in 700, in a nutshell. Okay, now we're going to Superior Spider-Man number 1. We go off with, it seems like in this one, Superior Spider-Man, that Otto is definitely using his brain and his technology to create little gadgets here and there to help Spider-Man defeat crime. I don't know, it's a little weird. In the comic, we have him fighting crime and doing the right thing. He's not just slacking off and it's haha, I'm the new guy. He's not being a bad guy anymore. He's going to be a good guy. Going to be the Superior Spider-Man. So he finds that we start off with Otto going to, or Peter Otto. This is going to be so weird. Peter Otto going to Octavius's grave and setting flowers down at the grave. Oh wow, my arm is totally killing me. Okay, so let's do that. Okay. Otto's putting flowers down at his grave, and then in a building nearby, the Sinister Six, or the new one, is wreaking havoc and trying to steal stuff. It's kind of ironic since Otto created the original Sinister Six. So he goes in, defeats them, and then I guess during the fight, Otto with Boomerang, he injected little nanites into Boomerang so he could kind of track them and keep tabs on them. And then he's explaining this to Mary Jane as they're having a little coffee date. And then Mary Jane is kind of what? Why aren't you going to go arrest them? Why aren't you doing anything? And Peter Otto's kind of don't worry, I got this. I know what I'm doing. Then he pours himself a glass of wine, and it's kind of okay, the real Peter Parker would never let this happen. He would go and stop them beforehand. So now we go to Sinister Six. They're going to in a building, and they're trying to steal stuff. But as soon as they get inside, they find out that the entire building has been webbed up because Peter Otto knew where they were going to be and knew what they were going to do. So as soon as they get in there, Peter Otto hits a little I guess he now has a button on his chest. I don't know. Hits the spider on his chest, and then I can't think of his name. The guy that runs really fast. I know I'm gonna get it's been a long day, guys. Sorry. Guy that runs really fast. When he hits the button, it created on the floor a frictionless floor, so he wouldn't be able to have any friction, so he couldn't run anymore. So then he slips and falls, and then basically Peter Otto, he's very easily able to wipe out this entire Sinister Six. He also has another device that nullifies all the other objects, or all the other electronics and everything that the Six have. Shocker's his weapons don't work. Beetle weapons don't work either. The female Beetle. And then so then just as Peter Otto is just they're now outside the building, the police arrive, and just as Peter Otto is about to go in for the really wail in on this guy, looks like he's about to kill him, all of a sudden something stops him, and you don't see why, and you're just kind of Ugh. And yeah, Then we find out that it's actually Peter Parker's ghost. Like, he stopped him. So, comic book fans, Peter Parker is not actually dead. Or, he is, but like, Peter says, like, the reason why you stopped is because of me. Like, I'm still in this fight. I am not gonna let you kill anybody. Like, I don't know how, but I'm still in this fight, and I'm going to get back. I am the true Peter Parker. And so that just made me, like, reading that on the page, I'm like, yes! Peter Parker's coming back! Like, so it made me happy. And then one thing I read in like a news article that they kind of teased with one of the issues for Superior Spider-Man. It had a picture of Spider-Man on it, and it had the words "fired" across the cover. So it kind of leads you to believe, do the Avengers find out that Superior Spider-Man is not really Peter Parker, that it's actually Otto Octavius? So, and then also then reading that bit at the very end of Superior Spider-Man #1, reading that bit that Peter Parker, he's still in the fight, he's still able to come back. I don't know, it just made me happy. Because, like, reading 700 made me sad. I was like, no, Peter Parker and Spider-Man, they kind of go hand in hand. So it'll be interesting. Yeah. So yeah, we'll find out later with what happens with Superior Spider-Man #1. Alrighty, so this is the first review that I'm going to do on comics. If you guys want more comics for me to be reviewed, I will review them. If you don't, then tell me right here and now, and then I won't review any more comics. I'm going to do a review on some products, some comic book nerd type products. It's not just comic book stuff that I have other stuff as well. So yeah, if you give me a comment and tell me